Let's start. Our webinar is called Social Selling on LinkedIn, Case Studies and Best Practices. And thank you for joining us today. And we are Modem Up Social Selling Agency. Would like to say thank you that you're with us today. And we are going to tell you more about what is the plan for today's presentation. And actually, our speech plan is, first of all, we are going to talk about two types of social selling. First is classic one, and the second is anti-crisis social selling. These two approaches, they are different. First one is more systematic. The second one is more, I would say, fast and result-oriented, fast result-oriented, but they both work. And at the second part, this is the most important part, actually, we are going to talk about our case studies with some measurable results, with the fresh numbers in our clients' projects. And we are going to share some message templates for different industries, and you can use them or you can build something from scratch based on them. And I would like to introduce our speakers. There are four of us here together, and this is me, Olga Bondareва. I'm a founder and CEO of Modem Up Social Selling Agency. And together with me, there are three project directors at our agency, Kate Soldbregina, Sofia Lopatkina, and Asalhan Sheidalayev. Yeah, they are our key experts. They are brilliant, and they will share their case studies. But first, let's start with social selling. What it is, what's actually it's about. Social selling is expert social media profile development to acquire potential clients, partners, or employees. So we work with different business goals, but the main idea is that we use personal profiles for it, and we work with profiles of our clients, and we develop them and we connect with others, and this is how social selling works. But we will show you in more details how it works. There are two types of social selling, two approaches, and the first one is the classic one, as we mentioned before. This is about systematic approach, about soft lead generation, where we use software communication. We try to be more maybe accurate. We are trying to be less pushy, and we combine inbound and outbound activities, mechanics there. And we try to build an expert profile of this person we work with, or visionary profile, because some of our clients, especially if they are top managers, they would like to build visionary profiles when they talk about some trends, some research results, etc. And of course, we build trustful and long-term relationships with potential clients and partners. So this is a long-term process, and this is important that it should be systematic. And the second approach is anti-crisis social selling. It's a bit different, it's fast, and it's based on outbound mechanics. And actually, in this approach, we just jump to sales pitch in a very fast way. Why we are doing it this way? Because in this approach, we don't nurture our potential clients. We just look for those who already have the needs in our product, in our service, and we work with them. And actually, we don't focus on content. Of course, we use some content there, but the main focus here is personal messaging and working, of course, in personal messages with some sales pitch, sales messages. Okay, let's go next and talk about classic social selling, how it works, how it looks like. Classic social selling is based on lead nurturing. And first of all, our potential clients, they read our social media posts. For example, a social media post of an expert. They start remembering your area of expertise. They start remembering your personality, because this is very important to show not only professional content, but personal content too. Because people, they would like to see that you are a person. They would like to feel your charisma. It's very important. And at the second stage, potential clients, they start interacting with you as a person and as an expert. How they do it? They can like your posts, they can comment on them, they can endorse your skills. But of course, it's not comfortable for people to do it before you did it for them. This is why it's important to be proactive and start doing these activities with your potential clients. This is how they start trusting you, and this is how you build positive relationships with them. It's very important. And on the third stage, they actually start showing their interest. And how they do it, they can ask questions about your product or service. They can share their business goals, their business needs, and they can discuss it with you and assess the relevance of your proposal for their target audience, for their goals. And this is how they decide, do they want to work with you or not? And actually, what kind of activities are included to this type of social selling, we will see here at the next slide. There are, of course, social media posts, because we use content a lot in this approach. And we post content on an expert page and in relevant groups. It's not so easy to find the live groups on LinkedIn, but if you found them, use them. You can, for example, post in some industry-based groups or job position-based groups, which are active and which are relevant. You can comment and interact on the target audience posts. We can also do it in the groups. And of course, we need to reply to the comments which are in the profile of our expert. And this is important because it helps LinkedIn algorithms to give your posts more views, to show it to more people. Because if there are not so many interactions under the post, of course, it will not be shown. And the third part, but the most important, is personal messages. In social selling, this is the key activity, key channel on LinkedIn, and personal messages is the place where people can decide on the next steps, to have a call, to have a meeting, to have maybe some demonstrations of your products, etc. So this is the key place where you can talk to your target audience. And let's talk about different approach, anti-crisis social selling. And this approach, we usually do it in a bit different way. It's based on direct approach. What it means that we come to our target audience with the talk, with the pitch of our products or service, and we ask some qualifying questions. Whether is it relevant or not, interesting for them or not, etc. And it's effective, and we see the higher conversion rates comparing to the software communication, software mechanics, because LinkedIn users, they actually value their time, and they feel that they don't want to waste it on some small talk. They don't want to just to feel that the communication is too long and goes from afar. This is why, yeah, they really appreciate if you go just directly to the point and just share with them what you really want from them. This is important. And I would like to show you an example how it works, actually an algorithm, how it works. The first step here is we start with some interaction. So we need to like, or we need to maybe comment on some post of our target audience, and we send the connection requests. It's important. Then we can endorse the skills of our target audience representatives. And this is strange because we didn't know them. We haven't worked with them, right? And how can we endorse their skills? But actually on LinkedIn, sometimes it's like, it's just liking their skills. And it's important to show that we are here, we appreciate what they do. And this is the way how we can just get their attention. And they can come to us and say thank you. And this is how we can start the conversation. And I think this is the best start of the conversation, when we start on a positive way. And then, of course, we continue with the messaging. We can send them personalized or template-based messages, and of course, ask some qualifying questions to understand whether they are interested or not. And actually, we don't at the first message, we don't recommend to personalize it too much, like to use deep personalization, because usually for us, it doesn't work as well, as effective as more, I would say, standard messages. Because, for example, when we personalize our messages based on the industry, based on the job role, this kind of personalization works better comparing to too deep personalization. Because very, very deep personalization at the first message can be uncomfortable to the target audience, because you don't know each other, and why are you digging so deep? So this is, it can be creepy, really creepy for them. So we would recommend to use less deep personalization. And of course, we do some follow-ups, and we send to our target audience some useful content, case studies, and we can suggest to have a call or have a meeting to discuss what we are proposing. Of course, if it's relevant to them, they can say yes, let's do it. If it's not, they can say no, but they will still appreciate that you shared something useful. So let's go to the next slide. And actually, we would like to share some recent and very fresh, and I hope interesting and useful case studies of our projects with our clients. And I would like to give the floor to Sophia for the first case study. Please, Sophia.
Great. Great. Thank you, Olga, for introduction. Hi, everyone. And let me start with our delivery service project. And here we worked with the Chile and the Peru markets. The service of our client provides logistic solutions for different types of delivery. So we focused on both clients and partners. And among direct clients, we searched for sales, e-commerce managers, e-commerce logistics, and our main industry was e-commerce, obviously, yes. What about the partnership story? Here we focused on courier companies, and we talked with the head of sales, founders, business development directors, and some other decision makers. The project lasted for 8 months, and we got more than 1,500 of target audience representatives in our connections, and we got 40 leads and 4 closed deals. And I think it's really impressive results. If we look at our scripts that we used in this project, we can notice that the chat was in Spanish, because in Latin America, it's better to communicate in their local language. Here you can see our message for partners. Yes, we introduced ourselves and immediately show our interest in partnership. And it's important to clarify what kind of partnership you offer, because that helps you avoid additional questions, that helps you save your time and the time of your prospect. And at the end of the message, we ask a qualifying question to understand whether it would be interesting to set up a quick call or not. The message for clients is also in Spanish. As I said before, yes, it's very important. And here we also introduce ourselves, then stress the pain points that our prospects may have, highlight our advantages, and then offer them to set up a call to discuss the details about potential collaboration. So, summarizing this project and successful activities that helped us to get such results, I'd like to say that sales-driven scripts showed good response rate, and then helped us to convert people with their interest into leads, yes, into calls with them. Then, what else worked well? It's a text follow-up on LinkedIn for those who received information by email, and then the communication stopped for some reason, so you follow up them, you remind about yourself on LinkedIn. And partner offer was highly successful, as we had lots of positive replies from our target audience. And let's move on and see what's happening in our next project. And I'd like to pass things along to my colleague Asılhan, please.
Thanks, Sophia, and hi everyone. Yep, let's continue with our completely different project, and by different I mean both goals and objectives. So with Yandex Cloud, we have started working with our client, Oleg Kabreznev, the co-founder and chief operating officer of Yandex Cloud, about a year ago. And Oleg came with us with a rather curious request. He wanted no lead generation tactics, just pure networking to increase brand awareness of Yandex Cloud. And the thing is, Yandex is the biggest and well-known brand among CIS, and it honestly has no competitors in the domestic market. But when it comes to the cloud technologies, there are always big four: Amazon Cloud, Azure, Oracle, and Google. So our mission was to join these giants by building a strong personal brand on LinkedIn. And we had to show our target audience how great Oleg is as an expert in cloud technology, his personal side as a C-level executive, and he's a father of two. And as you can see, we were targeting C-level executives to expand professional network, as well as IT engineers to search for talents who would be ready to join Yandex Cloud. And of course, it was obvious for us to look for tech-driven companies because of our product. It's a cloud product in retail, software as a service, manufacturing, gaming, and logistics industries. And we also targeted some startups, promising startups from the US, Western Europe, Middle East, and Israel. As a result, we managed to add more than 3,400 target audience representatives to Oleg's profile, get 28 inbound leads, and focus without sending a single sales message. And we managed to receive as many as 67 job applications for both C-level and middle management positions. And let's move on to our welcome message and see. Yep. So here it is. It is non-selling, and I'd like to highlight that we focused on non-pressure approach when we wrote it, because we didn't want to pressure our target audience to answer our questions or think that we would sell something to them, and we didn't have such a goal. So here in this message, we are just saying that we are happy to join their network and to be in touch with them, and we are just asking to share their opinions on our content, and that's it. So what made this project so great? At least it's great for me. Yeah, what worked well? First of all, Oleg agreed to share his personal stories on LinkedIn. And what's even more important, he agreed to attach real-life, non-staged photos of him and his family. And you know, you can think of it that such content is not for LinkedIn, but it creates the image of a real person. Not some kind of, cold CEO with no personal life after 6 p.m. He's real, he has emotions, he has family, and he's proud of it. And also, we were constantly publishing content about Yandex Cloud's team, because if there is a colleague worth appreciating, why not to mention their accomplishments and tag them? And such kind of content creates, the full image of CEO or COO as well, because with such kind of publications, we could show our people that we actually care about Yandex Cloud's team. Also, we have posted some HR-related posts, and they received a lot of attention. And it's a great way to increase your networking tactics, because people are interested to get the job, and they're willing to share their experience. And if you catch this moment and you're positive with them in the messages, it will be great, because even if you won't hire them, they will be happy to engage with your content and to chat with you afterwards. And also, the last but not least, Oleg has his own vision of managing and building his team. And so far, it works out great for Yandex Cloud. So we decided why not to share his insights and thoughts. And as a result, people find it very appealing when a person shares his revelations, because, again, we are building the full complex image of a CEO. It's and it shouldn't be that simple, right? Not just the expertise, but also show some emotions and revelations. So I hope you enjoyed this part, but we have to move on with our next case, and I would like to pass things along to Kate, so she could share.
Thank you, Asylhan. Yeah, thank you. Hi, everyone. Yeah, and our next case study with video analytics system. And this project continued for 4 months. And we have a goal here to enter the markets of Malaysia, Indonesia, and Philippines. That's why we reached out to business development managers and directors and director of sales and sales managers from system integrators. And we offer them to discuss potential partnership. And as a result, we added to our client's profile 841 representatives of target audience. We got 70 people who showed initial interest and who asked some additional questions about our product and who shared with us their contact information like emails and telephone number. And also we got 36 leads, people who agreed to have an introductory call with us and discuss potential collaboration. As you can see on the screen, we use here a very brief script with no extra details. We just talk briefly about our technology and the industries in which we specialize. And in the end of the message, we just suggest them to have an introductory call and discuss potential partnership. And if we talk about some best practices in this project, the first curious thing here is that we noticed that it's very important to send in Southeast Asia for free follow-up messages, because people here are very busy and they can just forget about your messages, even if your business proposal is relevant for them. So that's why it's very important to send many follow-ups. And the second interesting thing here is that we tested two scripts, one in English and second in local language. And we noticed that scripts in English showed a higher response rate than messages in local language. So that's why we recommend you to use English when you communicate with Southeast Asia. And the third thing here is that I've already mentioned, that short scripts for this market works more efficiently than a long script with many details. And that's all about this case study. And let's move on. And I give a floor to my colleague Sofia.
Thanks, Kate. And another project that is worth to show you today is a platform for route planning. And here we worked with the MENA region and focused on such industries as food and non-food retail, e-commerce, some international logistic companies, and FMCG as well. We searched for clients, and our decision makers were e-commerce managers, e-commerce directors, CEO, business development top managers, and some other positions. The project lasted for 4 months and showed really good results, as we got 51 people with the interest for potential collaboration, and 16 of them converted into leads. And now let's have a look at the script that we used in this project. And here we attract our target representatives' attention by proposing to reduce the company's costs. So as you can see on the screen, after quick greeting, we directly ask them about reducing costs by up to 25%. And just after that, we introduce ourselves, introduce our company, tell about different scenarios, how other companies may benefit from our service. And at the end of the message, as always, we suggested to send a more detailed presentation and schedule a call. So what did work in this project and what helped us to get such high results? Of course, it's a direct approach with an offer in the first message. Then it's posts with success stories and personal achievements, because, for example, as Asalhan already said, it's very important to show your personality on LinkedIn. Then some personal photos that helps to attract the target audience attention as well, and a post about company's event to show the company development and what's going on there, because it's very important about content format. So my colleague Olga will continue to share our case studies with you guys. Olga, please.
Yeah, thank you, Sophia. And I would like to tell you about the next project, which is called Intera. This is workflow automation for accountants, for chief accountants, for chief accounting officers, etc. And this project, we were focused on different industries, for example, e-commerce, pharmaceutical and manufacturing companies from different countries like United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, India, and Egypt, and on some positions which are on the screen. And this was quite short project. It's just for 2 months. And actually during this project, we've got quite impressive, quite good results, because we've added to connections more than 2,000 target audience representatives, and almost 200 of them, they showed initial interest. It means that they were asking some questions, they wanted to learn more, they shared their emails, and they showed the interest some other ways. And we've got 24 leads, and it means that we had the calls with them or meetings with these people, with those who became interested. And I would like to show you a script, one of the scripts we've tested at this project, because we tested many different scripts, but this one worked really well. And what's interesting in the script is that it's based on 2 steps. First step is quite simple and short. It's about like, I have a quick question for you. And the second part is more detailed about the project, and with the question at the end, would you like to schedule a call? Would you like to schedule a meeting to discuss it? And it showed the good results, I think, because people, they reply to the first simple message, and it means that it's easier for them to reply to the second one because they already started replying to you. Yeah, so let's also talk about what did work well. And this is, of course, first of all, the short welcome message with a question, which we already mentioned. Also, we use different polls in relevant groups, some industry-based groups, some professional groups, and based on the votes of different target audience representatives, we came to them in the personal messages with different messages, personalized messages, because we already know what they choose, what kind of option they chose, and we have some context about them, and this is why it's easier to communicate with them after these polls. And actually, we did quite not large, but quite important market research via interviews with the target audience representatives, and we learned more about different markets, and it helped us to change the scripts, to maybe add more relevant information, and we found out how to work with objections, for example, here. And let's go next to the next topic. Yeah, I would like to pass to give the floor to Kate, and Kate will talk about our next case.
Yeah, thank you, Olga. And our next case study, I think, could be interesting to the majority of our participants, because I know that many companies want to enter the US market. And this case study is about entering the US market, the United Kingdom market, and the United Arab Emirates market. And this case study with Performance Marketing Agency, and we reached out here the top managers, the CEO, CMO, Performance Director, Head of Growth, and Digital Strategy Directors from medium and large-sized service companies, e-commerce, medicine, banking, and construction. And this project lasted 3 months. And as a result, we added to our client's profile almost 600 target audience representatives. We got 10 people who showed initial interest and shared with us their email. And also we got 11 leads who agreed to have an introductory call with us and to discuss potential collaboration. And what is interesting and very important in this project and for B2B lead generation on LinkedIn in the US market is that in the first message, we write as much information as possible, as you can see on the screen. We mentioned all our case studies with famous brands. We mentioned all our competitive advantages and memberships in professional communities. And we attached to the first message our presentation with business proposal and the prices. It is also important. So why we did it? Because the audience from the US, they got many spammy messages. That's why you have only one chance to get the attention and to show that your product or services are relevant for them. So that's why you need to give them all context and all the information about your product. And in the end of the message, we just ask, is our services relevant for them or not? And if we talk about the best practices in this project, I think that first thing you already know and use in your lead generation in the US market, it is important to use informal tone of voice in your messages, because you need to be in the same wavelength with your potential clients. The second thing here is that we use in this project the automation tool for boosting connection acceptance rate. And the last thing which is important here, that it's very important to develop network with local influencers. That's why we actively comment on their posts, and we found influencers who talk in their profile about performance marketing, because it also helps you to attract the attention of your target audience, which is already collected in their profiles. And that's all about this case study. And let's move on to the next case study. And now back to Asal.
Yep. Okay. Hi again. Yep. Let's talk about the old timers. SDEC is one of our oldest and still ongoing projects. And actually, we had an anniversary recently of 20 months working together. And SDEC's case is another story of a leading brand in the domestic market that decided to go global. Sorry. So the goal here was to find online stores and e-commerce platforms who'd be willing to expand to the international markets, and needed help with the supply chain, fulfillments, and marketing campaigns, as well as last mile delivery. So not so long ago, we had a quick discussion with our client and decided to conquer the Turkish market and started our outreach strategies. We focused on everyone related to the e-commerce and logistics department, if we're speaking about titles, from global and local stores and marketplaces. And during the last 4 months, we managed to attract 34 leads and interest 69 people with our offer out of 1,200 added target audience representatives. So let's take a look at the message we composed for this project. I know it kind of looks long, but let's discuss the key points here. So first of all, we have a local greeting to warm the first touch. And as we observed, people from Turkey appreciate when you at least say hi in Turkish. And it shows an effort that you spend a couple of extra seconds before sending the message, and it actually matters. After introducing ourselves, like saying where we work and what do we do, we use a little trick here. We mentioned that we have seen interest in the prospect's product from consumers, and we want to help them. And with this way, we're showing that we actually did our homework, we made research, and we entered the prospect's website, looked at the product, and at least tried to analyze the market. Also, another key thing here, we promise to help not only with the logistics side, because it's pretty much obvious every logistics company can help with the logistics, but also we can help with localizing their services, and we have the budget for marketing campaign. And this proposal is actually unique because you are not just getting your product delivered, but also you're getting help with, for marketing. And in the very end, we also add the part to make this message look again non-pressuring, because we don't want to pressure our target audience. We are asking if this person is actually responsible for what we are proposing, or maybe they could share the relevant contact with us. And here we leave the gateway open for a person, if he's not actually responsible for this matter, to recommend us to someone else. And after that, we can go with this recommendation, and it will help us, to break the ice, because we can say that we just had a talk with your colleague, and he said that you are the one to discuss this. So aside of that, what worked well? Let's take a look at that. As I mentioned before, in the initial message, we use greetings and farewell in the local language to warm the ice. Also, we used a lot of informal congratulations, as well as formal. On some personal achievements or professional achievements, we wish Happy New Year and some other local holidays. And even when when our potential client didn't answer our first message, we could return him back to reread our first message and then say thanks to our second one when we wish him good holidays. And also, we have posted a lot of content about our company's SDEX achievements, like awards in some ecological projects, or we announced some new projects. And people in Turkey, they're very positive, and they like when someone's sharing positive emotions. So they were interacting with this kind of content and wished us good luck. So I hope you enjoyed this case study as well, and I would like to give word to Olga.
Yeah, thank you so much, Asılhan. And I would like to ask you to ask questions, actually, because, yeah, this is it for our recent case studies. And we are here with you, me and our project directors, Kate, Sophia, and Asılhan. And you can ask your questions in the chats. Actually, we have a stream on LinkedIn and YouTube, but we get most of our comments and questions on LinkedIn. So, but we are monitoring all of them. So if you have some questions, this is a chance to ask them, and we'll reply right now at this live stream. But if you don't have any questions right now, but maybe you will have them later, you can see our contacts on the screen, our emails, and you can just reach out to us, send us an email with your question or a comment or maybe some requests, etc. So we will answer, of course. And I can see that there are some thank you comments here, but no questions. Yeah, we'll wait for 1 minute, 1 more minute, and then we'll stop our live stream, and you will just have the opportunity to ask some questions maybe later. Kate, could you please show our next slide? I would like to tell more about our resources. This is our company's website. You can check it and understand what kind of services we provide. Actually, they are about social selling, as you can notice what we are doing. Our Telegram channel, if you use Telegram, this is in English, you can follow it and don't miss our recent news, our recent case studies, and just some tips and tricks on social selling. And our YouTube channel, where we already have some useful recordings from our conferences with some interesting speakers from different countries and different industries. And you can find some relevant and useful information there. But also, of course, you can find the recording of this webinar after all. We'll upload it there. And you will not miss it. So
Okay,
yeah,
we have 2 questions.
Okay.
So the first one is, what sort of tool we are using to automate connection requests?
Yeah, are you answering or me?
Yeah. I can answer that. Actually, we are not using any sort of automation tools to send connection requests, because we believe in manual labor here. We want our clients to receive, the most relevant target audience. And when you're using some kind of automation tool, it can easily it can easily send out the request to not relevant people. And after that, you can receive a lot of, I would say, reports because these people don't know you, they are not in the same industry as you, and your profile might be restricted. This is the first problem. The second one is that we are sending the messages as well to these people that we're adding to our clients' profiles. And we just want to minimize the risks to sending our offer to our proposal to some unrelevant person.
Yeah, and sometimes even competitors can be at this list which automated tools offer to us, because, for example, they are based on, for example, LinkedIn Sales Navigator settings, and it's not accurate at all. There are a lot of not relevant target audience representatives there. And yeah, you can easily send your, for example, message, your proposal to the competitor, and you'll be in the awkward situation. Or just you can send it just to not relevant person, and it's also not good, especially when we work with the clients which are top managers, right? Because for top managers, their reputation is important. And even if we don't sell, we just send some networking messages, it's still important that they go to relevant people, not to just, we need to control it. We are control freaks, and we need to control everything to make it shorter.
Before moving on to the next question, here is the question, the new question that is regarding our first question. Yeah.
Okay.
But Olga just said you use Expandy and Apollo.
Yeah, I will comment on that. Maybe Asel, you will also add something. We use them, but we don't connect them to the profiles of our clients. We connect them to our profiles. How we use them? We use Expandy to extract the emails of the target audience representatives. It's important. It's actually it's not so important, but it helps. If we have some emails of our target audience representative first, we can upload them to LinkedIn, and this is how we can add more people to connections. We can hack the limits for a bit, and this is important for us. So we don't use automation on LinkedIn. We just use Expandy to extract emails. And the second reason that sometimes we can send emails, actually, just because some people, they don't reply on LinkedIn, and we can try reach out to them by email. This is why we extract them. As for Apollo, we do actually the same. We also look for some people and extract their emails to do the same things. For example, we can upload them to LinkedIn, or we can send some emails to them. Also, Han, do you have some maybe additional details to say?
No. Well, okay. I just want to, just want to say that there is a limit on LinkedIn since last year, and that you can send not more than 200 connection requests per week. So
for some profiles, it's even less. Yeah.
Yep. So if you want to add something like 800 people a week, this is the best way to do that.
Yeah, and for this, we need emails.
Our next question is, how do we connect with our leads? Or what do we do to make people connect with our profile?
Yeah, actually, I can start. Yeah, maybe some of our team members will continue. How we do it, we send them connection requests, but the tricky thing here is that we usually send it without any, when you send the connection request, you can add a note. There is an option on LinkedIn to add a note. And we tested different ways how to do it. We, for example, send some messages with a note, and some requests with a note, and some requests without a note. And we've noticed that in the most situations, the request without a note works better. And we have higher connection rate in this kind of situations. Why is it so? We think that when we just send the empty connection request, I would call it empty. Yeah, in this situation, our target audience, they just look at the profile. They find something maybe interesting at the profile, and they assess the relevance of your company, of your position, of your personality. This is what they are looking at. But in the situations when, for example, you have a message, the note together with your request, in this case, of course, first of all, they look at the message. And if it's not relevant, or they can even just think, yeah, it contains a message, just I don't know to read, I don't want to do anything with this, just because here is the message. And usually LinkedIn is a very spammy social media platform. So this is why when they see a message, this is a red flag that probably you are a spammer and you are going to spam them from the beginning. So this is why, we send the requests. Usually our benchmark for connection rate, how many people accept our connection requests, is 50%. Of course, on some markets, it can be lower. For example, at the US, it's lower. It can be 30%, for example, because in the US, it's very spammy. Many people send requests to each other. Many people send messages to each other. So if we are talking about other markets, it's about 50%, but at the US, it's lower. But here is the trick, that if you have more mutual connections with people from the market you need, from the industry you need, in this case, they accept your connection requests much better comparing to the situation when you don't know anyone. So we would recommend to start with people you probably know, and they will accept your request, and you will be in the mutual connections with someone else. Or you can start adding some influencers which have so many connections in the industry you want to reach out to, or at the country you want to, maybe the market you want to enter. So this is how it works. Maybe you would like to add something else, Asılhan, Sophia, Kate?
I just want to add that if you want to get higher connection rate, it's very important to fill in all sections in your profile, and to show what is your position, to fill in your headline, and to fill in your position in what company you work, and maybe to add some keywords, and maybe your big idea how your company can help your potential clients, and maybe to add cover video. It's a short 30 seconds video which you can use for just showing your personality, first of all, not only for pitching. Don't be too direct to selling in your messages, in your profile. Just try to show your personality, your expertise, to share with people something that could be helpful for them. And I think that's the secret. Common mutual connections and trustful personal brand, and that's all.
Yeah, this is true. LinkedIn is so spammy, so you need to show that you are the real human being. Yeah, it's very important. So I can say that what is the meaning of your company name? You mean probably in our scripts, which we showed today. If you are talking about our message templates we were showing today, we just anonymized them. So because actually these message templates are real from our projects with our clients, but we just removed the names of the companies, removed some details to show it publicly. Because of course our clients, they not comfortable with showing the whole script, how it's actually looks like, but we just did made some changes. This is why. Yeah, this is good advice, Kate, for creating personal brand. Yeah, thank you, Kate. I think that you appreciate it. Yeah.
There was another question way before. People were interested if we built relationships before sending messages to our target audience.
Yeah, it depends on the approach actually. Today we've showed two different approaches. First one was classic social selling, and the second one was anti-crisis social selling. In classic one, we do it, of course. We build relationships, and it's very important because this is a strategic work and long-term relationships. But if we work in, we call it anti-crisis social selling, this is the more fast working with the target audience. We are looking for those who are interested here and now in our proposal, in our product or service. In this case, we just build the relationships, but in a very fast mode. Like, for example, we like some posts, we comment on some posts, we endorse skills, but we make it very fast that we continue in the personal messages. We continue communicating them in the personal messages, and we go just directly to the point. Asilhan, Sophia, Kate, maybe you would like to add something here? No? Okay.
There is nothing to add, I think.
Yeah, it depends.
So, again, the webinar is recorded and it's going to be uploaded on our YouTube channel. I just sent a link in the chat, or you can use one of our QR codes that
Kate, could you please also open the slide with QR codes? Actually, also, if you registered to our webinar, we are going to send the email with the recordings to those who have registered. If you did it on LinkedIn, it also works. It works because we also have your email and we can send the materials to you. So yeah, you will get it. I hope no one will stay without a recording.
I also find one question in our chat, in the comments, about our KPIs. What is our KPIs for lead generation per month?
Actually, I've replied in the chat, but I can just repeat it here. That usually it depends on the goals of the project, and of course, usually the goal is to find some relevant leads. It's lead generation. In this project, our main goal is to stop some maybe meetings or calls, or maybe some demo sessions or something else, something like this. Or sometimes we have different goals for the projects. For example, some networking activities, right? In these projects, we have different KPIs. We, for example, focus on some networking, communication, and personal messages. We are focused on content more to get more views, for example, get more interactions with the content. It depends on the goal. Of course, we don't do sales till the end, but because our clients, they have calls with the leads and they move them to the next stage. We don't do it. But what we do is that, for example, sometimes after the call, potential clients can disappear. It happens. In this case, we can just return them back because based on our LinkedIn activities, for example, we can send them follow-up messages, we can send them some additional materials, case studies, etc. So we can just push them for a bit and they usually reply even if they disappeared and started ignoring our clients. So this is what we usually do. Maybe you would like to add? Yeah.
Yep. Apart from leads, we also, well, as Olga said, it depends on the project. Sometimes our clients, they're not into lead generations. They want to, hire more talents for their C-level executives. And the amount of interviews would be our KPI. Or, for example, sometimes our clients want to promote their events. And registered people on their online or offline events would be our KPI as well.
May I add a little comment? And sometimes, for example, in my projects, there are a lot of cases when company need customer research in the specific location, so they'd like to understand whether their services or product would be relevant for the specific target audience or not. So in this case, we asking our prospects different questions. We also scheduling a call, but without any selling goal, without any sales. We just need we just ask to share their opinion and insights regarding our product, the product of our client, and what they think about it. So in this case, yes, we think that if we choose the right person and they share with us they share with the client their thoughts and insights about the product, it would be our lead. Yes, but it's not about sales, it's about customer research. So it's one of the business goals that you may have as well.
And also we have some projects where we help our clients to find speakers for their events, conferences, and it's can be your KPI. Yeah,
it's based on the business goal. We just first of all we decide on the business goal together with our clients, and based on that we just decide what kind of KPIs we're going to have, because of course the project should be useful for business and should be relevant for business. And I can see the question about what format do you use? Does it depend on the qualification of the lead? But what format of what? I haven't understood it. But maybe if you can give us more details, we can reply, or maybe after the webinar, we can also come back to you in the comments. Yeah, it would be great if you ask it in more details. So as I can see, there are no new questions. So it suggests we'll finish for today. Yeah. Okay, Tim. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us, and thank you so much for your questions, because we really appreciate questions. We love questions because we feel that it's important. What we are doing, it's important, and you are listening, and it's interesting, it's relevant, it helps you. Thank you so much. And I just want to repeat that if you have any questions, please come to us, reach out to us, we will help. And just visit our next events, next webinars, because we usually organize something once a quarter at least. Yeah, so thank you so much, and have a good day. Goodbye, everyone.
See you later, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.